beginning of residential attitudes. So 2003 it started. It was an answer to the Rural Building Company, funnily enough, at the time, which we'd started in 1998 in Margaret River, and with this demand for people who really loved, it wasn't necessarily the rural aspect, it was the lifestyle and the way people were living in these homes. The problem was that Rural Building Company was rural. So we ended up creating a brand, Residential Attitudes, which became our suburban answer to the Rural Building Company. And we had this momentum really from day one, where the homes were on traditional suburban style lots, but how you were actually living was the real brainchild of the brand. And and that was 2003. And when did you come on board?
Well, I came on in 2005, and after being abroad for quite a few years, came home during the building boom, choice of jobs, and what really appealed to me was that it really was an innovation in housing. Residential Attitudes were doing something quite different. Being the building boom, I had my choice of jobs, and I thought, I want to work for these guys. The freeform living, everything that was in the Residential Attitudes house was completely different to everything else that was out there in the market.
And you had like the homes, like the modern, the penthouse,
the
residents, and they sort of were using bold colours, which you look at now.
Well, no different to the 70s or 60s, where you're seeing lime green kitchens and things like that.
Yeah.
You look at some of those photos from 10 years ago, and you're getting the oranges and the greens and
yeah.
But I call it brave pants.
Yeah, and that's it. Like
brave pants.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, have you got your brave pants on or not?
Yeah.
And that's where Residential Attitudes was a little bit unique and different, because it didn't appeal to the masses. It was brave pants.
So well, it was going to a place that a lot of the people in the market weren't prepared to go to, and not for a bad reason. It was just, I think, there's the typical formula of like 4-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, study, freeform living, kitchen, dining, just cramming lots of rooms into a house, which is what people feel like is offering lots of value. But what they're not necessarily realising or appreciating is that the square meterage of the home, the footprint, is staying the same. You're just cramming more rooms in. So the bedrooms are feeling smaller. The freeform living is still like an open space, but they're raising ceiling heights to make it feel deceptive. And that's where RAs was like, well, no, stuff it. We're going to throw away this supposed rule book and let's just do our own thing. And that's where like 3-bedroom homes, that was the formula. 3-bedroom homes.
3x2s with a second living. But like you said, the McMansions just kept getting bigger, but the block sizes didn't. They kept getting smaller. So whilst they had a freeform living area, you didn't have any yard left. So you weren't opening out onto anything. By having a smaller footprint with a more usable home, it actually embraced the climate, the outside more, and you had a better flow between indoor and outdoor spaces.
I think the other thing as well is that you see in these homes, you're cramming as much as you can onto a suburban lot, which means that when you're looking out your window, you're staring at a colour-bond fence. And as a result, builders will obscure glass, they'll shrink windows, all that kind of thing. So you get these homes which are just, I think, a bit lifeless. But with RAs, that was where that kind of came into the mix as well. I mean, there was the home that, what was the home you did in Churchlands?
The Viento.
The Viento, and it had like the
water breezeway. Yeah, well, it was making clever use of space, which I think is a key principle of Residential Attitudes, where we don't have wasted space. So that side setback area, instead of it just being a dead fence, we turned it into a water garden, which embraced the cross-flow ventilation of the home. So it was a low-tech evaporative air conditioner. So we've turned a dead space into a live space, which embraced the outdoors. So it worked really, really well. And that's where rooftop terraces, sort of those indoor-outdoor areas, the central light wells, they're old principles that have just been reinvigorated and innovated to suit modern day housing.
Deep into the funnel of love.